My first two are daughters. They are just recently turned 13 and 11. And then my son is 7. So it's a busy household for sure.
I have two little ones, Daniel and Olivia. They're twins, and they just turned 6 years old in June.
Little Ali, he is 7, and Isla, she just turned 2.
My main motivator for beginning a MBA program was career progression.
After getting, the taste of entrepreneurship on my own, it really transformed like the trajectory for my life and what I thought I wanted to do. So I took a leap. I quit my job as an educator. I was a special education teacher. So I was literally online Googling okay, what can I do to perfect my skills that I really found that I found that I have. And then I was like, I can pursue an MBA.
So I was at that point in time where kind of like everything kind of came together. I was ready for that next step in my career. My kids at the time were, 5, 8, and 9 or something like that. And I was like, okay, they're a little bit bigger. My husband, I've got a great partner there. Just everything kind of fell into place where it was like, it's now or never stuff.
It was a 2-year program. By no means was it a part-time program. It was very intense. We met on alternating weekends at a nursing school that they're partnered with here in Houston, from Friday evening, all day Saturday, and sometimes even Sundays. And we took a course load that gave us a wide perspective on the different managerial topics that you would expect in a business school. Everything from supply chain and organization to leadership, accounting, finance.
So it's an MBA for experienced professionals. Not only was the school was close to me, it was, you had to have at least 5 years of experience in order to be considered. And of course, the price factor was a good one as well. And so it's a 3-year program because it's basically everybody that are working professionals.
Before the pandemic, we had networking sessions like almost every day. The interactions with our professors, a lot of them were still working in the field of business, whatever that trek was for them. So they were able to bring on their real life experience into the classroom. We did a lot of case competitions, P&G, Deloitte, McKinsey. So we had a lot of hands-on experience with case competitions. So really understanding what it's like to have a real business problem on the table and to compete for prizes to see who can solve it the best.
I'm the first one to admit that COVID had its hidden blessing for me in that I was able to take classes online while still being at home and being able to turn off my camera when I could hear my husband just really having a hard time with the kids.
We've had to hire a part-time nanny to help with my son because my husband still has a full-time job as well, right? And so we had to hire her. She comes in and she sits with him and does what she needs to do. So again, it's having those partnerships and having to, budget to bring in additional resources.
I found out early October that I was expecting. I was pregnant whole first year, but I just was don't count me out, to my professors, to my core team. I didn't get to do our big, we have a big thing in House State MBA program. We can go to a different country and be a consultant. So that was the only thing that I missed.
A lot of grace, believing in myself, a lot of being positive and telling myself I can do this, staying organized, and really, relying. It does take a village, relying on my parents, on my husband to kind of be able to fill in when I wasn't around. I started telling them, and mommy was going to go back to school. She wouldn't be around the weekends. And they would ask just really cute questions like, are you going to have circle time? Are you going to learn about numbers? Are you learning about colors? So that was really cute.
They're like, we can't wait for your graduation. I know my girls are really proud. And that's also really exciting, to show them.
So my 2-year-old may not remember, but my son, he can vividly recall, yeah, mom was, expecting, and she was still pursuing her MBA, and, dad was supportive. So when he grows up and he has to make tough decisions, and he has to make decisions where it's like, okay, do I put my dreams on hold or because of my circumstances, or do I keep moving forward? He will choose to keep moving forward.
Self-care kind of did get put on the back burner during COVID, just because I was working 24/7, it felt like. But because I was told that self-care isn't selfish, it's responsible, that's something that's always at the forefront. And so when I did have the opportunities, or I made sure that, on the weekends, I did take my break, I did, take my nap or whatever works for me. I went and got a massage earlier this week, right? So it's making sure to kind of work that in and finding or creating the space or opportunity to do it. Doesn't happen all the time, every day, no, but I've trained myself enough to know that I can get to a certain point, and now it's time to do what I need to do.
Looking back, I was just so focused on the goal that I'm just like, look, I'm the kind of person, I'm willing to sacrifice some things to get where I want to be. So I'm just like, look, I know that we will see brighter days. I can relax after graduation. So I'm going to keep trekking. But I met 3 really great friends in the MBA program. And these ladies like really had my back, and they made it so easy to have self-care. Like, even if it was just in between classes, even if it was like going on a date or something, like on a Saturday, watching my daughter in between classes, like so I could study. Like, these girls, I don't know how I would have completed the program without them.
So this spring was the time when I really had to take care of myself, because I started feeling symptoms of burnout. Then adding COVID, and the emotional toll of keeping your family safe during COVID really started taking a toll in just, my emotional and mental wellness. So I would say this semester, there was even more positive reinforcement and more grace given to myself. More massages, more pedicures, more sleeping in, all the things that we think of self-care. I may have exaggerated them a little bit this semester because I needed every ounce of that to get by and graduate. Ultimately, I did graduate just fine.
Naturally, as moms, we're always just like, man, I'm not doing enough for my kids, or am I looking too much at my phone, and am I studying too much?
I'm sure I had mom guilt at the very beginning, but at the same time, I'm also an ENTJ on the Myers-Briggs, so I'm a thinker and I'm very analytical. So the mom guilt doesn't really get to me now. Yes, there's sometimes some things that I do have to miss, and it sucks, but I have the conversations with my kids. They're older now, and it's like, look, this is what, mommy has to start traveling again, right? I have to start going out. I'm going to miss this, but we're going to FaceTime and you're going to tell me all about it.
Like, when I went to Black MBA in 2019, my daughter was super young and I was breastfeeding, and I felt a lot of mom guilt for leaving her with my parents, because of course she couldn't come with me, and that was like my first time away from her. So I felt really bad about that. But I knew, like, I was going there with a goal. It was to network, it was to meet more people. I wanted to be a business consultant, and I had to be there to make that happen.
Ultimately, when I'm with my kids, I'm with my kids. For instance, last night we went to the pool, and I logged out, went to the pool, left my work phone at home. We decided, hey, let's go to dinner. We came home, got ready, and went to dinner. I left my work phone at home because I was with my kids and they were my 100% focus. Then they went to bed, and then I, logged on and did what I needed to do to finish up. And I think that's kind of how maybe I deal with the mom guilt, because I know that when I'm there, I'm 100% there. If you want your kids to follow their dreams, you've got to follow yours as well.
Of course, there are the logistics that you need to work out. Who's going to take care of the kids when I'm in school? Maybe an online program is right for you, but I feel the sole fact that you're a mom should not stop you from pursuing your dreams, from pursuing your aspirations, and pursuing higher education.
Stay the course. Understand that, don't even look at it as a sacrifice. It's not a sacrifice. You're doing something in the moment that is important to you, that is going to benefit your future, and your children will benefit from it. We know what an MBA can do. When it gets hard, be okay with one, accepting help, because I know that's hard, hiring help, and outsourcing. Like, those are my three things. Just because you're a mom does not mean that, you can't go after what you want outside of your children. Because before you had your children, you were a person first.